Good morning, children. Welcome back on your science online classes. I hope you had understood about disease causing microorganisms in animals, plants, and human beings in the last classes. Today we are proceeding with our topic, that is food preservation. So let us begin. Let's go for it. See the first paragraph. In chapter 1, we have learned about the method used to preserve and store food grains. How do we preserve cooked food at home? You know that bread left unused under moist condition is attacked by fungus. Microorganisms spoil our food. Spoiled food emits bad smell and has a bad taste and color change. Is spoiling of a food a chemical reaction? Yes. Then see the next paragraph. Paheli bought some mangoes, but she could not eat them for a few days. Later, she found that they were spoiled and rotten, but she knows that the mango pickle her grandmother makes does not spoil for a long time. She is confused. She is confused. So, from this paragraph, we had learned about the food preservation. We have to learn about the food preservation in the detail. In the previous class, I had explained you about food. Food is necessary for organism, whether it is unicellular or multicellular organism. So where the food is, microorganisms start growing on it. Microorganism spoils our food. Spoils food produces bad smells and it produces toxic substance also and changes the color of the food and it has a bad taste also. Here in the paragraph given one example. Suppose if the uncovered food, that is bread, is kept under the moist condition, then what will happen? The bread gets spoiled. On the surface of the bread, a feathery like a substance will start growing. That is the fungus, microorganisms. So why it happened? Why it happened? Because in that microorganisms start growing it. On the food, the microorganisms start growing it and due to respires that feather like a substance obtained in the bread. Now in the second paragraph, in the second content, it explained about that one girl named Paheli, she bought a mangoes, but she not ate them all because a lot is there. She ate only that few mangoes and all the mangoes she kept. But later on, she found that the mangoes were spoiled and rotten. But her grandmother making mango pickle do not spoil for a longer time. She is confused and had a conversation between them. Then she came to know about the food preservation. Food preservation. What is a food preservation? Food preservation means a natural or a man-made chemicals are added to food to stop them from spoiling. Some preservatives are added in the food so that the microorganisms should not grow. Preservatives have an acidic in nature so that the organisms are unable to grow in the food. There are two types of food preservatives. First one is the physical method and second one is the chemical method. Physical method. Under the physical method, the natural method comes. Natural method, in this method, freezing, boiling, salting, These are the example of the natural method. By salting the food, the microorganisms cannot attack the food. By adding a sugar, by adding a alcohol, or by adding a vinegar, the food cannot get spoiled. The second one is about the chemical method. Chemical method means a certain chemical substance are added so that the food could not get spoiled. Chemical methods, salts is there, edible oil or sodium benzoate, sodium metabisulfite. These all are the chemicals added to the food so that the food should not get spoiled and it should not come in contact with the microorganism. So let us see the chemical method. Yes, salts and edible oils are the common chemical generally used to check the growth of microorganisms. Therefore, they are called as a preservative. We add a salt or acid preservatives to pickles to prevent the attack of microbes. Sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite are common preservatives. These are also used in the jams and the squashes to check their spoilage. Yes, in this paragraph we had learned that salts and edible oils are the common chemicals. It used to check the growth of microorganisms, and this is called as a preservatives. We also adding a salt or acid to preserve the pickles. Some chemicals like a sodium benzoate, sodium metabisulfites are common preservatives. This also added to the jams and the pickles and the squashes to check the spoilage. And these jams, pickles, they kept for a longer time. Now see that how we do the preservations by adding a common salt. Common salt has been used to preserve meat and the fish for ease. Meat and fish are covered with the dry salt to check the growth of bacteria. Salting is also used to preserve amla, raw mangoes, tamarind. Yes, that meat and fish first it is dried. It is checked whether that fish and meat it is not moisture. If the meat and the fish is not dried properly, if it is moisture, then it may become contact with the microorganism. So by adding a salt, the meat and fish is dried properly under the sun. If any moisture there it is dried, then it kept for a longer time. In the same way, salting is also done to preserve some raw amla, mangoes and the tamarind. In this way, preservations of some food can be done by salting. Now next one is about preservation by sugar. Yes, by adding sugars in some jams, jellies, squashes, the food is preserved. And sugar reduces the moisture content which inhibits the growth of bacteria which is spoiled. Yes, in the previous topic I had explained. If the food having a moisture means the microorganisms is growing in that food. So we have to see whether the food is free from the moisture or not. It is dried properly or not. Then see, next one is about preservation by oil and the vinegar. Yes, by adding oil and the vinegar, we can prevent the food. We can preserve the food. Yes, last one is heat and the cold treatments. Heat and cold treatments means by boiling it or by freezing it, we can store the food. The microorganisms cannot grow on the food. Now we will learn about the pasteurizations of a milk. Yes, in the market you people are getting a packet of a milk. Packet of a milk is a pasteurized milk, means it is free from the it is free from the microorganisms. Means that is called as a pasteurized milk. Pasteurization is done by one of the scientists, that is called as a Louis Pasteur. Pasteurized milk can be consumed without boiling as it is free from harmful microbes. Pasteurization means the milk is heated to about 70 degrees Celsius, means 50 to 30 seconds. It is boiled and suddenly it is chilled and stored in the packet. By doing so, it prevents the growth of microbes. So this process was discovered by the scientist, that is Louis Pasteur. So it is called as a pasteurization. Yes, is it clear about pasteurization? Now see the next one, storing and packing. Yes, storing. When storing and packing is done, yes, after checking, the foods, whether it is dried properly or not, the dry fruits and dry meat and fish or vegetables are sold in a sealed packet, air-tight packet, so that air should not enter into the packet. If air should enter into the packet, means the food get moisture, and if the food get moisture, means in that the microorganism will respond and start growing. So before storing and packing, we have to see whether the food items is dried properly or not, or it can be sealed in a airtight packets to prevent the attack of microbes. Now next one is about nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation, you have learned about the bacterium Rhizobium in class 6 and 7. It is involved in the fixation of nitrogen. Leguminous plants pulses. Recall that Rhizobium lives in the root nodules of a leguminous plant, such as beans and peas, with which it has a symbiotic relationship. Sometimes fixed through the actions nitrogen gas fixed through the actions of lightning. But you know that the amount of nitrogen in the atmosphere remains constant. You may wonder how. Let us understand this in the next section. Yes, nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation means trapping of atmospheric nitrogens and converting into nitrates and nitrite. So in this one rhizobium bacteria helps in the conversion of the atmospheric nitrogen from the atmosphere. So let us learn in the detail. In the leguminous plants means a pea, corn means pulses family, gram. These leguminous plants has a root nodules. Root nodules means the roots having a swollen in structure, in which the bacteria rhizobiums take shelter in it, and plants does not trap a nitrogen element from the atmosphere directly. So what the rhizobium does? Rhizobium traps the atmospheric nitrogen from the environment and convert into the nitrates and nitrites, and it gives to the soil. From the soil, the plant absorbs, and it helps in the growth and development of the plant body. So in this way, both are mutually benefited. Yes, leguminous plant gives shelter to the rhizobium, and rhizobium is trapping atmospheric nitrogen and converting into nitrates and nitrites and giving to the plants. So this mutually benefited type of relationship is called as a symbiotic relationship. So you have understood about the nitrogen fixation and the process. This process is called as a nitrogen fixation, means trapping the atmospheric nitrogen and converting into nitrates and nitrites and giving. And this occurs this process occurs more in the lightning time, when thunder and lightning occurs na, at that time nitrogen element releases more in the atmosphere and environment. So this process, conversion of the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates and nitrites, and gives to the plants for the growth and development. This process is called as the nitrogen fixation. So I hope you people had understood about the nitrogen fixation and about the food preservation or preservatives. What are the various preservatives which are used to preserve the food for a longer time? So yes, whatever I had explained in the class, all the children go through it, thorough it. If you had any problems, we will discuss in the class. So in the next class, I will explain you about the nitrogen cycles in the detail along with the diagram. Yes, thank you.